Hi, welcome to my 10 Pilates exercises for runners. The focus of all these exercises is control, balance. So all the exercises, we're looking at slow movement, controlled movement, using the abdominals, belly button to spine, trying to stabilize the hips, and that's where we start to understand the notion of Pilates, which is controlled movement. All right, so we start by just going up on our toes, nice tall position like you're being pulled up to the sky, tall like a dancer. Immediately as soon as you do that, you come out of this area of the abdominals, from this kind of drop down, you pull up. Immediately this has to have some kind of contraction or tension in it. Breathing in, lifting the arms to shoulder height, up on our toes, and slowly down. With running, balance is very important. Doing single leg work, which we'll do later, to understand what muscles are needed. Every time we're on one leg as we're running, those muscles have to stabilize the pelvis and stabilize the whole body. So just this very simple exercise of going up onto our toes, we'll get our calves working, the ligaments around our ankle, strengthening them. A very nice exercise for running. And then we extend that into opposite arm and leg. So the whole body weight is on one side. And then exhale, we swap over, making the transition from one leg to the other. Nice and seamless. Keeping those hips nice and level as we swap over. Control, slowly, still pulling in here, not collapsing, being pulled up to the ceiling. Good. So those are those balance exercises that you can do every day, little and often, all of that, opposite arm and leg, pulling in here. Talk about the core. It means the transverse abdominis, the obliques, all of these. As soon as we pull in, just sucking belly button to spine, you activate this area, which strengthens this area, supports this area, which is very important for running. It's not just about the legs. So then we need to mobilize the spine. So we do our roll down. We do it from the side, chin to chest, breathing in, chin to chest, we elongate the head, dropping down. We start to roll down through the upper spine, the mid-back, the lower back, soften the knees, imagining you're pushing your bottom up to the sky or to the ceiling, hanging down there, shoulders are relaxed, head is relaxed, breathing in. And as you exhale, bend the knees, pushing the pelvis down or the bottom down like you're against an invisible wall, rolling through the lower back, the mid-back, the upper back, all the way. The last thing that comes up is the head. We'll do that once more, breathing in. Exhale, chin to chest, rolling down, nice and relaxed knees, rolling down, imagining one vertebra over another is just rolling down over each vertebra, hanging down, breathing in, feeling this area here, the lumbar fascia, which can get so tight from sitting. And then we bend the knees, we initiate the movement from here, rolling up through the lower back, each vertebra stacking up on the next vertebra all the way to the top. The roll down is such a nice exercise to do. So we'll do that again and we'll go into our floor sequence, or the mat sequence. Breathing in, exhale, rolling down, 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 onto the mat, bending the knees, getting the hands onto the mat. And from here, we're just going to do a little stretch into the hamstrings, keeping the hands on the mat as much as possible, straighten the legs as much as you can, and then bend them. And see if we can just draw that bottom to the ceiling, bend one knee, and then the other, so we get a stretch through the side of the hips. Fantastic stretch for us runners, all the way up into here, bending that, good, good, good. And then from here, walk yourself forward onto the mat, and we're going to go into our mobilizing the spine, our cat and cow sequence. The knees are right underneath the hips. in line with the hips as well, and the hands are right underneath the shoulders. Strong box position. We breathe in, tuck the pelvis under, and the head as you breathe in into our cat position. Exhale, you drop through into the cow. Not sure why it's called a cow, but anyway, but into a gentle extension, and breathing in and exhale. Do it a couple of times, really mobilizing the spine like you've been punched in the stomach. And then exhale, dropping through gentle extension, no tension in the lower back or the shoulders. Good. And now, in this position, we're just going to start doing our straight leg raises. Now, this is about keeping the pelvis nice and horizontal, and we're working into our glutes. You stretch that leg out and bring it back in. And as we swap over, we're not seeing any movement side to side of those hips. We're pulling in through the belly button to spine, so we've got that gentle contraction in the abdominals. Stretching out, good. Lovely. And then you can do single arms, stretching out, draw it back in, feeling the strong work through the scapulae, through those back muscles. You're not collapsing, you're holding up nice and strong, drawing the arm out and then back in. And then you add opposite arm and leg. The leg shoots out and then you go into that position. This is called the swimming exercise. It's the sort of level 1 or the prep exercise, or it's also called Superman, for obvious reasons, without the soundtrack. And draw it back in. Now remember, when you're doing this opposite arm and leg, you're really looking to stretch out, pulling in through the abdominals, hardly any movement side to side. So really slow it down, there's no rush. This will really strengthen the back, strengthen the abdominals, but also work into those glutes, strong glutes. I'll say this so often, strong glutes, strong knees. So, that's the Superman exercise, which is a really lovely exercise to do on a daily basis. Now we can go into plank. We'll do half plank, which is on knees. And for here, we're just going to do, just add a little bit of difficulty to what we've just done. So straight leg raise, and then back in. So you're pulling up through the abdominals, really good work in the abdominals. So it's not a big movement. Really squeezing into those glutes, squeezing into those glutes. Now you can either keep it at that level or come up into full plank. Full plank. And from here, you're doing leg lifts, squeezing up and squeezing up. Squeeze into your bottom, pulling in through the abdominals, no tension in the neck, but lifting up. Good. Really strong exercise for those glute strength and hamstring strength as well as we lift. Good. Do about 10 to 15 of those. Then when you're finished, drop back into a little shell stretch, just to ease out the shoulders and the lower back. Just stay there for 10 seconds. Really lovely stretch to ease out that lower back. Good, 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 good. Then, we're going on to our side. We're going to start working these, or carry on working with gluteal muscles in the clam position. You've got a gentle pickup underneath here, so you're not collapsed. You're still working underneath the rib cage. The back is nice and flat, like you're against a wall, and the heels are in line with your bottom. You're in a nice V position with your knees. And all you're going to do, the heels are together, you lift that top knee and down. And you lift and down. Slow it down. Be careful, or be aware of not rocking back. So we keep the work just here, into this hip. Just here. Strong glutes, working the gluteus medius and minimus. Very important. Stabilizing that pelvis, keeping it lovely and horizontal during the running phase. Good. Once you've done 10 of those, extend the leg and leg lifts. We lift them down. Lift and down. After a while, you'll feel it. This is really nasty, but hey, things we got to do. And down. Again, 10 of these, nice and slow. Nice and slow. Good. And down. Once you've done 10, keeping it nice and horizontal, parallel to the floor, we do little circles. Painting little circles against that wall. 10 in one direction. Nice and slowly. And then back in the other direction. Trust me, after about 5 you'll be going, oh, I hate this, which is absolutely fine. The things you've got to do for running. Indeed. Good. So those are the basic, very basic exercises, good exercises to keep this strong, before we get into any sort of leg lifts or side lifts or anything like that. Keep it simple, glutes, leg lift, little circles. All right. So we're going to go into our abdominal work now. Just going to place a little towel underneath the head. We're going to start with our basic ab prep. We're focusing on this connection rib to hip. Rib, so place fingers top of the pelvis, thumbs bottom of the rib cage. You inhale, chin to chest, so you just elongate the head. Exhale, we lift up. So we're getting that squeeze, squeezing the ribs to hips as you exhale. Good. Feet, knees and hips are in alignment. So we're squeezing as we lift up. So when we do abdominal work, there's no need to kind of do heavy crunches. All you need to focus on is this area, squeezing ribs to hips and down. And if you do that, contracting, pulling down, flatten this, you'll work these core muscles, not the rectus abdominis, but the obliques, the transverse abdominis. Those are the areas we want to contract. That's what protects our lower back, not the rectus abdominis. That's your Hollywood six-pack. Good, may look nice, but it doesn't really protect the lower back. Good. Then we just cradle the back of the head to protect the neck, to stop it from hurting, lifting up. Good, and down. Exhale, squeezing up and down. And you can do 10, 15, 20 of these a day if you want. But nice and slowly, slowly contracting, holding and releasing. That will really work this abdominal area. Very, very, very good. Then we move into our bridge. So we want to mobilize this pelvic area. Again, being aware of this space between ribs and hips. Breathing in. Exhale, just gently tilt the pelvis towards you. Making this gap here smaller. And then inhale, release. What we're doing is flattening the lower back. Flattening it. And inhale, we release it to open that little space underneath, so go back into neutral. Exhale, tilt the spine towards you, the pelvis, and inhale. And that just helps to mobilize this lower back. Good. Now if that's enough, just do that. But then we can then move into our tilt, peel, so we carry on that tilt, squeezing the glutes, rolling up, squeezing, breathing in at the top, so we go to the bottom of the shoulder blades, and exhale, rolling all the way back through the mid-back, lower back, back into neutral, breathing in, exhale, tilt, peel, roll, squeezing the glutes. If your hamstrings are kicking in, if they're starting to cramp, go onto your heels. It'll take out the hamstrings, squeeze the glutes. This is where we want the work. Breathing in at the top, and exhale down. You may also want to move your feet closer to your bottom. That sometimes helps. So we're going to do this another couple of times, and this is a shoulder bridge. We're just tilting, peeling, and rolling up. And in this position, we're just going to add little toe dips or heel lifts. Lifting up and down. Keep the bottom up. Keep it up. You can even put your hand there and your thumb just there as a guide. Keep them up. Let's do 3 or 4 on each side. Keep those hips up. Keep them up. Squeeze your bum. Squeeze it up. And rolling, rolling, rolling all the way down into that position. So that's gluteal work, the tilt, peel and roll. Also, it's a lovely work to mobilize the spine. Good, 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 good. And just if your back's feeling a little bit sort of tired, just bend the knees, hug the knees, roll side to side. Good. So we're going to continue that work, but now doing a little bit of work for the hip flexors. What we're going to do is our 100. So we're going to start off with a one leg 100. So you take one leg into 90 degrees and straight down, straight up from the hip bone. And we go up until we'll curl up, hands go to the side, and we pulse down. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you can carry on with that, and every 4 or 5 goes, you swap over. Or you lift both legs up into what's called tabletop, or 2-leg 100, lifting up into the curl up position, arms are long, shoulder blades are down, and you pulse. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a very strong exercise. It works the hip flexors. It also works the abdominals. If you can do 10 rounds of that, staying up, and then release it down, release it down. Good, so that's the abdominal work, 100, good. So we're moving towards the end of this little 10 exercises. So far we've covered the mobility of the spine, we've covered gluteal strength, hip flexors, abdominals, and we're just going to focus on the spine now in terms of rotation. Hands are in prayer position, focusing on the top of the fingers. Breathing in, exhale, we rotate. Lovely tall spine each time we rotate, we grow. Now it's advisable to sit on a block or something similar, so then I'll show you from the side, so that we're not, without the block, because I've got quite tight hamstrings, my lower back finds it difficult to sort of maintain an upright position. So with lovely long hamstrings, you can possibly do it like that, but if your hamstrings aren't long, it's nicer just to sit on a block or on a cushion, just so that your hips are upright, or your lower back is upright. So, nice and tall, breathing in, exhale, we rotate. Pushing down with the other hip, the opposite hip, so we don't fall over, or we don't drop over. We're getting taller each time, following the fingers, we're leading with the hands and the head go in the same motion. So the head is in line with the center of the chest. And just do that 3 or 4 times on each side, and you'll feel these muscles either side of the spine really working, which we hardly ever do. Good. And then from there we do a lovely spine stretch, side stretch, reaching up and we bend over, pushing down with the opposite hip and back up. Arm come up, pushing down, stretching down. Good. One more either side. This is such a lovely one if we are sat all day to really open up this, and when we're running this side, these sides can get quite compressed. So opening it up. Good, 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 good. And that, my friends, are the 10 exercises for you to play with, to work the whole body, mobilize, and in the next video we'll be looking at stretching and strengthening.